Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jonesy.
And I'm here.
And this is Aaron. And welcome to another episode of Supercast. We actually really don't have an agenda for you guys. We just wanted to do another one of these while we were here in Tulsa together. So...
It's funny, we thought after Comic-Con it might be a while.
Nope, yeah, we're right back here.
Yeah, 2 weeks, what?
Maybe I should just save this. I'll keep it from you guys for a week.
No.
Yeah, no.
Teaser.
Last one was May, technically, so it's fine. Well, this is our June episode.
Yeah. Where should we start?
Well, I just showed him Kung Fury for the first time.
God. Oh my god.
So we were kind of talking about movies that we're excited about.
And I had no idea. Talking about going into it fresh.
So, you should...
I was not aware.
I was gonna double check at some point. I want to see how many views Kung Fury is at in the video at some point. My mom texted me, guys. In case you were wondering, hang on, I can't see your eyeballs.
I got a hat on.
This is Aaron, Shadow Master. Pay attention to weather. It's supposed to get bad in Tulsa tonight. Oh God!
We don't have any control on it. That's not we can really control it.
You mean like last night and the night before that?
Yeah, we can either watch it coming or we can just let it happen.
It's called rain season for a reason.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Love you, Mom. Thanks for the heads up. Anyway. Okay, so
Kung Fury.
So yeah, well, I mean, aside from Kung Fury, what are you excited about the most for this year? Because you showed me a trailer for a movie, but what do you like for the rest of the year? What are you looking forward to? And keep in mind, I mean, we got stuff for December.
Out of like
everything that has not come out yet.
Entertainment wise?
Yeah, entertainment wise, not just movies. I guess.
Well, it's mostly movies. I want to see what happens. Like, I'm really interested in the whole convergence thing, how that's gonna fly. I am a little kind of upset, and I think about how everything does change so rapidly. Like, there was New 52. Now it's, feels like it's been, how long has it been? It hasn't been even that long, it feels like.
4 years.
4 years? Yeah, it went by like nothing.
Oh, so you're talking about like comic books?
I'm talking about everything.
The transition. Okay.
So I'm interested in that. Movie-wise, Ant-Man's coming out. That's going to be really big. I was kind of knocking it a little bit at first because it's Ant-Man. What the hell are you doing?
I'm excited about Ant-Man. I'm letting them know while you talk.
I mean, that's just going to be big for Marvel. Which, by the way, I liked Avengers too, so...
Yeah, well, okay, still trying to keep it as spoiler-free for everybody. What are your thoughts on it? And I'm going to give my thoughts.
Spoiler-free, it was a better movie than the first, if you look at it objectively. I don't think... It didn't really live up to my expectations. I really need to see it again because I did see it right after work. I was really tired. And it was in 3D, which is a mistake. Do not do that. It was stupid. It was a better movie if you compare them objectively, I think. I didn't get quite the same wow factor, but not that they couldn't have topped it in that way, but it's kind of hard to do because you're not going to get the same, oh my god, all these characters are together. You're not going to get that again. It's only going to happen once.
Right.
But all in all, I mean, if you look at what they all did, we did, and everyone who worked on it did, it's still a great feat. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I think it was a movie that was just kind of supposed to come out in my mind. Like, it was inevitable, and that's just what was going to happen. The problem with, I think, especially in the past couple of years, with media advertising just going crazy, is things get overhyped so fast, like lightning fast. Like, you hear Avengers Age of Ultron teasers, and like the speculation just hits the ground running. Everybody who's a fan is trying to figure out what's going on. Things are getting released daily just to keep people enticed, which I think is another. We might talk about Kickstarters at some point, and we'll talk about the difficulties of those. But it's just things that get overhyped, and then they just kind of fall flat of that hype.
Yeah.
Makes it seem like a bad movie.
Well,
now, Avengers Age of Ultron is a movie that's supposed to be what it is, and it's the next installation. you know, clearly they're doing Civil War next, and then it's all tying up with Infinity Gauntlet. Clearly, Avengers: Age of Ultron is not supposed to be the movie. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and I think it was coming out to be that way. It wasn't. That's what I was gonna say. It wasn't as big as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But now that I think about it, it doesn't need to be. It's not Avengers 1. It is a continuation. It needs to be big, and it was pretty big. I kind of feel like I'm hoping they'll tie in more things. Obviously, they went to like. This is kind of a spoiler, but kind of not. They went to Wakanda. I won't say anymore. But, you know,
well,
that obviously ties in somebody.
I mean, it's a setup movie. It's setting you up for the next installation.
But they didn't make it feel like it. And one thing people complained about is that it wasn't dark enough, that they made it seem darker in the trailer, which I agree with.
But that's what Civil War is going to do. So,
maybe.
It is. I mean, Civil War is going to take these two sides to the Marvel Universe and just pit them against each other.
Yeah, but is it going to be in a Marvel dark tone, or is it going to be a serious,
I mean, it's never going to be like The Dark Knight.
It's not, but then again, look at what Daredevil's doing.
But when Daredevil joins the Defenders, and then if the Defenders help the Avengers, it still has to set a different tone than just the Daredevil or the Punisher.
True, yeah.
So Marvel Universe as a whole has to look like this.
Yeah.
You know, Punisher and Daredevil can look like this, but when they come to this, they have to look like this. So I mean, it's not ever going to be as dark as the Dark Knight or Batman vs.
No,
Superman.
it doesn't need to be. I don't want it to be either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, anyone who says, I don't think anyone has, not that I've seen, but anyone who says it's it's definitely not a flop or anything, nowhere near that. It's still a really good movie, so that's what I have to say about it. Anyway, I guess so far, one thing I'm really excited about, I just showed it to you, is Black Mass.
Yeah.
Black Mass, oh my, and that looked, Johnny Depp, man.
Which is great because Mordecai just came out on DVD.
Yeah, you might need this movie.
Yeah, seriously.
Nah, he's Johnny Depp. He's still good.
If you guys are fans of Mordecai, I'm sorry, but
I never watched it.
Good Lord.
My mom.
I would rather watch Chappie while being electrocuted.
Really? Yeah.
Which if my sister watches this, she'll be really upset because she actually likes Chappie.
I never watched Chappie either.
But here's when you've made a movie wrong. Now, Chappie, it's obvious it did not do well in box office. That's just a fact. But I'm talking to my sister about it, and she's like, "Yeah, no, it was really funny." I'm like, "Really, Chappie?
Really?
It's supposed to be like an action drama, you watch the robot going through these tragic situations."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Really? I thought Chappie was a comedy." I'm like, "Oh God, no!"
Oh,
that's how you know you've made a movie poorly.
Damn. Man, the title itself, Chappie, it's...
Chappie! It's like a...
I am conscious. I am Chappie.
It's live action WALL-E.
Oh,
That's all it is. And WALL-E did well in box office, but now, like, nobody actually likes WALL-E anymore. They're like, oh god, WALL-E's so annoying.
Oh, okay. The Black Mass. I want to see what you thought about the trailer. The one, there's a few trailers. It's the one where Johnny Depp's at the table with, I forgot his name, and the whole secret recipe thing.
I think
That was a brilliant scene.
for me, I really like his character that he's developed,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't wait to see that because it reminded me immediately. It reminded me of John Dillinger, which it is another criminal movie.
Yeah.
It reminded me of John Dillinger mixed with Hunter S. Thompson, Loathing in Las Vegas.
Mm.
You put the two together, and that's who's in Black Mass.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see that because those are some of his best characters.
Look at me, that was so good.
It's really good. Really good. And then he's gonna be sitting at the dinner table and he's gonna be threatening that guy and he's gonna have scissor hands.
Jesus, yeah. Man, Public Enemy, that was when I think about it, that was one of the best roles I've seen him do because that's Johnny Depp. Like if
Right.
Johnny Depp were back in the then that's him.
Well, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas was
that fit him
so
perfectly.
good.
I never finished that. I fell asleep because I was trying to watch it at night. It sounds terrible, I know. I woke up and there was like lizards and shit, and so I went back to sleep.
Those lizards, I gotta go. Okay, so this is probably incredibly mainstream and not hipster at all, but I am most excited this year for the release of Star Wars Episode 7.
Well, that's reasonable.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it out there.
I don't know.
And I
barely know anything about Star Wars. That's sad to say.
Dude, you're on a Supercast and you don't know about Star Wars.
Yeah, I know, man.
Anyway,
I know names,
don't worry, guys. I'll get him exposed. But here's the other part of it. I think you and I, not to say back in my day, but you and I do have a legitimate enough of an age difference that, you know, and probably an upbringing too, that you might not have been shown the classic movies nearly
but I was so young.
Right.
I don't remember it
nearly as religiously as I was.
Yeah, no.
It was a part of the family kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then the new movies, I was already pretty young for episode 2 and 3. I was still...
I remember 3. I remember seeing 3.
Yeah, so episode 1 and 2 might have been a little too...
Didn't really give a shit then.
Right. So you're just in a setting
yeah.
where... And that's exactly... Okay, that's why there's 2 reasons I'm excited for Star Wars. 1, they're going to attempt to redeem themselves from the last 3 episodes they did, because the prequels...
Man, all 3 were bad?
All 3 were terrible.
Man, jeez.
I mean, okay, and this is the thing, and... I mean, it's still bad, but I disagree with what people thought was bad about, like, say, movie 1, when Anakin is a boy. The pod racing scenes were my favorite, and I loved the pod racing game that came out on the Nintendo 64 based solely on that scene. It's a whole video game made about it, and I love that part. And that and Jar Jar Binks is like the biggest complaint among fans.
That's what I've heard. I mean,
yeah, but for me, it was just like, okay, we're in Tatooine. We're still here. We're in the desert. Mm-hmm. You're still in the desert. Like, that was my big complaint. And then, of course, as Anakin got older, I cannot stand that guy. I always forget the actor's name just because I block him out of my memory.
I don't remember. I don't know what else I've seen him in. I feel like he has a familiar face.
I don't know. I don't care. It was bad. So anyway, that's one. I'm excited that they're going to try and redeem that. But 2 is, this is exactly why it's perfect for people like you, or with your upbringing, or whatever, with your influences, because it's going to be The Force Awakens. It's going to be a new storyline. Yes, there's going to be like parts played by the old characters, like, you know, Harrison Ford's gonna be playing Han Solo and stuff like that. But we have a new set storyline that people can jump onto, and so it's gonna bring back a whole new culture, a whole new fandom. We'll just have to see if it takes off like it did, because that's one of the risks that they're taking by trying to make a new culture out of it again, by rebooting that culture. When Star Wars came out in the 70s, it was mind-blowing because of the effects, everything like that. It was revolutionary. Now it's not.
You know what the second, biggest movie at that time was?
What?
Smokey and the Bandit.
Which is also
that's a good comparison, I guess, of what was going on.
Right. Yeah. But no.
Which was a good movie in its own right.
Right, but now it's not revolutionary anymore. I mean, we've seen everything that you're going to see special effects wise in episode 7. You're going to see in
I think like things like Avatar were the kind of next step as far as
Yeah, I mean,
Avatar too. I mean, God, it's been the last one came out in like 2008, right?
I don't remember. I didn't really care for Avatar.
No, it was 2012. I think that's what I'm thinking. Jeez, I'm way off. I don't know. It's been a little bit, and it's still going to be like another year or 2, I think. I could be way off, but I'm interested to see what they're going to do then, because the special effects still hold up pretty well.
Right.
But yeah, Star Wars, I mean, it seems like they're doing everything right. I mean, I know they got J.J. Abrams working on it, or worked on it, and so they got the comics coming out. They got a lot of stuff going for them.
Yeah. The comics are cool. The comics are alright. They still feel a little bit too novelty to me.
Yeah, maybe.
But I do like the fact that they are following the original storylines from the movies in the 70s. Everything's taking place like between the first movie and the second movie at this point. The events, and like even Darth Vader and the Princess Leia side storylines are all doing that. Blah 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 blah. But so that's cool, but it still feels a little too novelty. So yeah, we went ghost hunting last night. Not really though.
Let's say that because that could be a long thing. It wasn't really ghost hunting with it. I gotta get on my addiction too later.
It wasn't.
I
ghost
gotta
hunting.
kick that. I need to. It's putting me in a weird state.
We went for a lengthy walk, and he showed me some of the places that he has.
Seen. I just seen them.
You know, it's
One house I heard about.
he's checked out in his hometown since we're here. Might
Yeah,
as well.
it's weird. It's weird shit. Let's hit on Kickstarter real quick.
Oh, Kickstarter. Okay, so what are your thoughts first of all? Because I'm
I
gonna
think
go.
it's great. I think it's really great. I mean, people get to choose what they want to donate to. I mean, like I've had a personal, technically not, but I consider them family member. They had a Kickstarter for like a deceased family member or something like that. And, you know, like you could kind of do stuff like that, but not as widespread.
Right.
And so how much stuff would we not have without Kickstarter? Good, like, genuinely helping people, and then there's entertainment and just, whatever it could be for. And if there's something stupid on there, just don't donate to it.
Right.
Like, it's not like it's I think it's done way more good than it has bad easily. So I think it's really cool. Wasn't there one kid on there that like asked for like $10 to make potato salad or something, and he ended up getting like $50,000.
I don't know.
Then I heard he like donated like 30-something thousand or something like that.
That's really bizarre.
That was pretty bad.
He should have done
$49,990. He probably did better than I would. I won't lie.
You just wanted to make potato salad.
Shit, I'd be saving that. I'm fucking cheap, dude. I'd be saving a lot of that money. Like,
Yeah.
we're holding on to this.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Yeah.
if people actually legitimately oversent something like that in a Kickstarter, I try and send most of it back.
Well, I think it turned into a thing like, let's see how much money we can give this kid, and I think that's freaking cool.
Yeah.
There was someone on ESPN, those game day things,
Right.
that, that signs up. One guy gave his like PayPal account or something like that,
Mhm.
his number, and said donate to it, and he got like, just, oh my god, ungodly amounts of money.
Right.
It's genius shit, and I love that. So
Yeah.
I like Kickstarter. Kickstarter, I think it's cool. We might need to come up with one for, if we can find a good reason. I don't know what we use it for.
We don't need to say that too fast. I don't want to like.
I don't know. I mean, we're gonna.
I know,
put it to
but
use,
it's nerve-wracking to me. Like, hello everyone, can we have your money, please? Like,
Well, then don't donate. We're.
I know, but I would just have to like have a
It's
legitimate purpose.
it's all about earnesty and just being.
Yeah, I wouldn't ask for $10 for potato salad. I'd be like, I'm actually legitimately working on this project.
I might
need
do
your
that.
help.
Just see what the hell happens. Cause whatever money I got, man, I'd be putting it towards bettering whatever. Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, Kung Fury, I showed him,
Kung Fury.
it was made by Kickstarter. They raised $600,000, and that's how they got a 30-minute movie on YouTube.
600,000.
$600,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder what they spent it mostly on specifically.
Special effects,
Yeah, but I wonder like which one cost the most.
explosions,
Probably.
and time travel.
And that freaking
Tron
Triceracop.
thing, yeah. Or the fact that, okay, like when they're in the police station, this isn't a spoiler by the way, keep watching. This is just like behind the scenes stuff. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember if there was a scene where it was all the same person, or they were all like filmed separately upon a green screen and like stacked upon each other. But everybody in that police station was like, it was all green screen special effects.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure there was one scene where they were all the same person, and you see him in different spots.
Wow.
But it's all green screen, so he had to just be in different spots.
The thing I think I appreciated the most out of that, there was like really good humor. I liked how they kept it in that same 80s vibe the whole time. And
Right.
it actually feels like an old 80s movie in a lot of ways.
I'm telling you, dude, you
And
gotta.
some of them were that shitty. Oh god.
I'm telling you gotta watch the old heavy metal cartoons. They were amazing.
You ever heard of Cherry 2000?
Yes.
Okay, I remember I was trying to find porn on DirecTV, and that's what I found. It was bullshit, but I still watched it. I don't know what I was thinking. I watched an hour and a half long movie, however long that was, waiting for something. Nothing. It was stupid.
Oh, do you remember? Did you watch the South Park episode where they did heavy metal? It was the one where they had the cats that were like peeing in their faces and the cheesing.
I may have blocked that out.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a heavy metal reference because every time they would get high, they would go into the heavy metal universe.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they'd all try to get with the girl who had the awesome bubage.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Kickstarter is the there's a huge downside to them though.
Really?
And especially in the video game world, and this is what, I mean, it's been a thing for probably the past half decade, 5 years by now. But the biggest downside to Kickstarters is there's two ways that something can go terribly wrong. And not just with video games, movies, and any kind of project. Either A, you do the investing for Kickstarter too early, based on how long it's going to take you to complete the project. And so by the time you've done this Kickstarter and you're trying to make money off of your project, the hype is gone. Like, could you imagine, picture this, like, let's say Avengers Age of Ultron was only done with Kickstarter, only funded with Kickstarter.
Jesus.
Now, so we're talking about how much hype there was for the movie, and you saw how much it died down in, like, March. Like,
Yeah, that was weird. It was like, it was weird.
Literally nobody was talking about it in, like, February, March. So you have that happen. Now, picture all of that hype and then all of that downslide, and they spent their entire Kickstarter budget, and then opening day, nobody even cares.
Well, I mean, that happens to movie studios. So.
I know, exactly.
Yeah,
like
that's a problem that's always been around.
Of course, Avengers: Age of Ultron won't ever happen to them. But like, picture that.
Yeah,
you're like the only one showing up
what-
with your ticket
it's a
to
chance,
Avengers.
and that's what you need to. I guess when you're
Yeah.
the one donating to Kickstarter, that's one thing you gotta be aware of. Like, it's still a chance. Like, you technically don't know what this person's gonna, how they really intend to work with it and stuff.
Right,
So.
or it's just the length of time because
Or that, you don't know
you've
the
been talking about it
circumstances.
and talking about it, and eventually your potential customers are just bored. They're tired of you trying to talk about your product over and over again. And then the other side is there's just been a lot of places where even with Kickstarter funds, companies run into unexpected budget like increases and stuff like that, whether it's like employees or insurances or an accident happens or something happens, building gets destroyed, whatever, where they've been talking about this product, people have been willingly giving their money, and then the project falls through.
Yeah, that happens though, man.
There's no return policy for Kickstarter funds. If you give somebody your money,
you better know that going into it.
it's down the drain. And then there's also Kickstarter scammers, which, they've been really smart about it, trying to make themselves look like legitimate companies, video game companies, stuff like that. And they're asking for people's money, and they literally are getting this money, and then nothing happens. So,
That's exposed.
So, I mean, Kickstarter is just like, it's the same, pros and cons of just the internet itself, It's really, really good, but you gotta be careful where you go, where you invest your time and money.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on Kickstarter. Be careful, everybody.
Alright, I guess we'll get to, like, my big friggin' thing. Okay, I've been on...
The big friggin' thing.
I don't know what has gotten into me lately, people.
In a world where Aaron doesn't know what has gotten into him. In a world. It might have made some kind of motion like this. But we're not really sure.
I've always been interested in it, even when I was little, but especially lately, I've been, like, addicted to listening to, like, mostly true, a lot of them true, claim to be true, paranormal stories, mostly people telling about their encounters and whatever has happened, and some just, in general, creepy stories.
Right.
And, I've been listening to that shit, like, almost all day, every day while I've been drawing, and I think it's fucked with my mind. Because I'm in this weird, creepy state of almost paranoia and, like, this weird being, like, aware of what could be around me. And I'm going to fucking work with this. And then I'm coming home and still doing it. And then I'm going to bed paranoid.
We're kind of talking about, like, moments in life where you take steps back.
Yes.
And kind of look at the bigger picture and figure out where you need to go. Sometimes you do need to lay off the ghost stories for a while because I
weird addiction. Who the hell does that?
Oh, dude, it's super addictive. It's just like a roller coaster.
I guess.
People who love roller coasters and they love the feeling of that inertia.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the adrenaline rush.
Because I go from JRE, normal, like, intelligent or humorous talk, baseline, okay, I'm cool, to, oh shit, oh dude, that's creepy, oh shit, gotta go to bed, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and like, a little bit, and I just keep doing that. It's weird.
Right.
Now I gotta find, I've lost touch with reality.
Yeah, you might just have to set it.
And the weather, it looks like fucking Seattle out there. And so...
Or Ireland or something, it's just raining.
Anyway, so I want to hear about your paranormal stories because I love it shit.
My paranormal stories.
I had a couple, I'll say it. They're nothing big, I just want to hear yours.
I think as far as paranormal goes, because I mean I've also had supernatural and I've also had spiritual.
Paranormal, supernatural, just weird in general.
Yeah,
stuff.
we'll start with paranormal, just in this podcast.
Please be open-minded about this part.
Yeah.
A lot of people deny it, but then again, there's a lot of people that like.
Or you know what? You don't have to be open-minded. If you really want to challenge us on what we're talking about, even though we're just having a simple discussion,
yeah,
you feel free to comment and call us idiots. I don't care. Do it, please, by all means.
Yeah.
Fill my comment box. My box.
Anyway. And I want to touch on a point eventually. So yeah.
Okay, so my first
box.
My first paranormal experience that I can remember very clearly was probably when I lived in Kansas City, Missouri. And we lived in a cottage-style house on the street. Like, the whole neighborhood was like these brick houses that have been built in like the 40s. And like super stable, like awesome houses that are just gonna stay there as long as you want them to. And I just remember it always kind of had not a weird vibe, but a vibe that was very pronounced, and I could tell that something was, I don't know, there. It was just, it gave me a feeling, kind of a thing. So I remember there was a lot of times where, you know, I guess it's like the common like kid fears closet kind of thing, reversed, where it's like I had a liking to my closet. Because
you were drawn towards it.
Yeah, I was drawn towards it constantly.
Weird.
And basically, I was never really scared of it. The only time I actually got scared was because I was up one night, and I was up really late. And I mean, I think I was like 9, so it was very uncommon in my house for me, a 9-year-old to be up this late. I was up at like 11.
Yeah. I was at, what, like 8 or 9 at that age?
Yeah, and I had to be up for school at 5:20 a.m. every morning. So I usually went to bed at like 9:15. So I'm up at 11, and it's a school night, and I'm playing my radio so softly, just trying to, you know, play like my Dave Matthews Band CD or like The Darkness. Like this is around this
Darkness?
time. Yeah.
Okay, I give it a little bit.
This is around this time. I think Weezer Green album had just recently come out. Like, just to put it in perspective for you guys.
Interesting mix there. Okay.
Oh, dude, I've always had that kind of mix. But anyway, and then like Beethoven. Who knows?
I got like one thing. No,
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm listening.
By the way, if you can't see this, this is a Slipknot hat. Go Slipknot.
Slipknot.
Fuck you if you don't like them. Okay, I'm just kidding. Sorry. Continue.
That was really aggressive.
I don't care. I gotta represent, man. I gotta represent.
So I'm up really late, and I'm playing my radio ever so softly. And I'm thinking, I'm gonna get away with this. I'm gonna be able to listen to my music all night. I'm gonna fall asleep to my music. It's gonna be great. Because normally, it's an old wooden house. So if I'm doing something or playing something, my dad is right above me. He can hear everything. So I finally like maneuvered it enough for it to be quiet enough for me to enjoy, but him not to hear. And all of a sudden, like, I hear the closet door move. I've always had a habit. I don't know. I can't explain this. I just feel better when closet doors are open. Not because I feel like there's something in them. I just feel like closet doors should always be open.
It's like a little OCD thing.
Yeah, it is. It's probably OCD, like a compulsive thing. So I always keep it cracked or whatever. And it shifts just the tiniest bit. It doesn't scare me or anything. But then, like, after the shift, like a couple seconds later, the radio starts clicking on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. And I've had a couple other experiences by that time that are similar to that. For me to basically, what I pictured was there were like the energies of whoever was either initially in the house or who built the house, whoever cared for that house the most. Whatever they probably passed away by then. They kind of left something behind, and it's like their spirit was kind of like watching over the house, even to the extent of like, if the child is up late, we need to make sure that he's in bed, kind of thing. So it constantly watched over me, and I always felt like it was a thing of like a parental type of figure.
Yeah.
Which, you know, psychologically makes a lot of sense because I was going through a pretty difficult time then, as far as like parents go. So like, you know, I had a hard time with my dad adjusting to my stepmom and things like that. So it makes a lot of sense that, you know, sometimes we can conjure that kind of thing to our needs. If I felt like I needed somebody who I could communicate to like that, or have somebody do that for me and set that example, then, you know, you could manifest that type of energy from that, whatever that was. So, what about you? What was your first prominent? Because I had way more, but
well, my first. No, I've never really.
When did you pop your paranormal cherry?
Oh my god. I think you had that same joke on the last one, something like that.
Did I really?
Something about a cherry.
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember my first.
What's wrong with me? I have a problem.
think everyone's had their moments of like hearing noises and maybe even voices at times.
Right.
I think my first time I ever really like had a moment that was like, okay, whoa, was living at this old house, not far from here at all actually. Like it's like streets down, it's really not far.
Right.
This was junior year of high school. We just moved in the house, my dad and I. Just left boxes and everything. I got home early before him. I think I walked from my gym over there by the movie theater to this house over here. That's how far I went.
Right.
And it was night and all that, and so I wasn't in a scared state at all. So my mind, you know, it's not like I went into it looking for anything at all. I did put Ghost Adventures on, so I had that playing while I was cooking dinner, and I was waiting for my dad to get home. And I'm going to fill up a pot with water to boil it. And so I turn it on, and I did hear like the pipes moving a little bit.
Right.
And I had a cup, like here's the countertop. I had a cup like right here, like in my peripheral vision as I was filling up this water. And I turn on the water, starts filling up, and all of a sudden this cup, corner of my eye, I was not looking at it, but clear, it's right there. It goes, it doesn't go, it goes. It moves at least a good inch. Like it moved. And I turned it off, I set the pot down, I took a step back. I think it was just something to the extent of like, what the fuck? And I was like, alright, because like I want this stuff to be real because I've just always been interested in it. But I was like, okay, I need to prove that it's real. I need to figure out some way to like figure this out.
Right.
So I lifted the cup, it had water, I was like, maybe there was condensation. And so I checked under it, completely dry, nothing under it. And so I was like, I heard the pipes, maybe something moved. Although I didn't feel it, I just heard it. So I turned it off, so I turned it back on, nothing moved or anything. I mean, nothing wet, nothing moved. I was like, okay, that was just weird. I ended up posting on Facebook about it. I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. But, and in that same house, I think it was like a month or two later, this was probably definitely the freakiest one for me. I was laying in bed, like this. I had my hand on my chest. And do you know anything about sleep paralysis? Do you know when?
Oh, yeah.
When does that normally, does that kick in right before you're asleep? Doesn't that happen?
Sleep paralysis, like when you wake
like
up.
Like where you don't really move. Like where your body goes into like it's not moving anymore, but do you still have a level of consciousness and all? I don't know the stages of it.
I think it's like the third thing before you go into like REM sleep.
Okay, well, I think if...
It's either going into it or coming out of it.
I don't remember exactly. It would help validate a little bit more if, if it was going into it. I was in that stage where you're not really conscious anymore, but you're like anything, and you're like, oh yeah, I was falling asleep just a second ago. Like you're not fully asleep yet, right on the edge.
Okay, so maybe like the second stage then.
Yeah, I was
it's
aware.
From it's like the transition from alpha to delta waves.
Yeah, I don't know. I was aware enough for anything to really jar me awake.
Right.
And so I was laying like this. All of a sudden, and it's quiet and nothing's going on, I did not move. I felt someone, I had my right hand here, and I distinctly remember feeling someone do this, put their hand on mine, and it felt like their right hand based on their fingers. So it was like, someone doing that on top of mine.
Right.
I was not fully asleep. I fucking shot out of the bed, I go, what the? I fucking yell because I did not care. My dad was asleep. He somehow did not hear me though. I flipped on the light and I looked, nobody there.
Wow.
I just stood there for a second. I was like, okay, I'm legitimately freaked out a little bit right here. And I was like, what am I gonna do? And so I just turned the TV on, and then I flipped the light off and tried to fall asleep again, and I did. But that, I just remember it. And it sounds weird, but it felt like a girl's hand because it was kind of smallish feeling and soft. You can tell the difference.
Right.
But Chris one night was over there, and he went to go to my bathroom, and he went to my room, and he was like, dude, did you open your door or something like that? I was like, no, because he came around back into the office where I was, like slowly. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, you messing with me? I was like, no. He's like, did you shut your door? I was like, no, I've been in here the entire time. And he's like, I went through your door and I shut it behind me, and it was open when I came back. And I was like, been in here, dude. And so that house usually has some stuff, but
yeah,
it was kind of weird. I don't know, but a lot of people like to find explanations for a lot of things, and not that you can find an explanation for everything, but most of the time you can find some weird connection that could possibly explain something.
Mm-hmm.
But also, that's the same thing as looking for something to happen. So I'm kind of just let it happen, and no matter what, whether it's either one, it happened and you experienced it.
Right.
Either way, it's going to be the same result.
Yeah.
So,
I think for me, as far as paranormal stuff has always gone, I don't know that it's necessarily been ghosts or needed to be classified as ghosts or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more of the idea. It's the same thing with my initial experience. It's always been a matter of, I feel like every time something like it happens for a reason that has been necessary for me to need.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been a learning experience. I think the last time that I had a big, paranormal experience, and apparently I didn't learn my lesson, or I need to be reminded because I'm thinking about it now, and it's like, here I'm here again.
Mm-hmm.
But it was during a period of time where I needed to face my fears,
Mm-hmm.
and not just literal scared of the dark fears, going forward with things and into the future and blah 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 blah. So you start to face that very literally,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a pretty freaky time for me. So yeah, I feel paranormal, at least for me, it might not be for everybody. People might have actually had legit ghost experiences, but for me, it's always been I can tell there's something out there, and it's not just me psychologically making something up for it to fit in my mind. I think it's more of whatever's out there, when I come around it, we reflect each other, and I kind of mold it into what I need it to be for my experiences, kind of thing.
Well, a lot of people, and there's definitely truth to this, of course, but a lot of people feelings can be misleading. I'm like, yes, of course, but it bugs me because it seems, especially lately, I think you start to see a lot, going a little bit away from this. I feel like too many people get caught up in their heads too much, too cerebral and all that. And I do believe in trusting your body, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Your body is smart too, and there's a whole duality of things. I think it's really bad to be just in your head, and I think it's really bad to be just in your body. That's where you get into really weird, super hippie people that make no sense. Because it can be bad in either way, I think.
Aaron doesn't like hippies.
No,
I'm kidding.
I have hippie tendencies. But, and I think there's people that are just more open to it, without trying. I think people have more experiences than others because they're just, for whatever reason, whatever makes them, they're just more perceptive to it, more open to it.
Yeah. I think I've probably been one of those types of people, because even in times where normally people would say that they would be scared in a situation, I've never felt scared with that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I've gotten spooked.
Yeah.
Something, it's just a jump scare, yeah, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always been I've been in control of the situation, and I felt okay about it, so.
Yeah, well, and if you actually look into it, you see there's not just ghosts and all that, there's hauntings, if you want to get into that, there's residual, which is just energy left behind. It's not an actual being or anything, it's just the imprint of that memory, which a lot of people think actually people are starting to look into this, how things can be passed on and left behind, and like, you know, buildings or, you know, an object and stuff like that.
I feel like that's what happened at Books A Million. You know, all the employees always talk about specifically like the same thing. Like whenever they close or open, they feel like there's something moving around in there.
Yeah, I thought I heard Julia one night. I literally walked over there to show her something, and just didn't even think about it. Yeah, I heard shuffling.
I've seen figures moving throughout there.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen them walk. I've seen them look at me. I've seen them turn the corner.
Wow.
And that's exactly, people are...
Dude, I'm closing them more already.
people who come through the store, there's a ton of people who go through all the stores in that shopping center every single day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a big old ball of flowing energy that goes in and out of that shopping center every single day. I guarantee you, people leave their signatures there without even realizing it. And that's what you're seeing, is residual energy of the people who shop there that day.
Yeah, and it's kind of a Grant Morrison thing, like you're the being over time, so that part of you is left there. But and also it's not just the building itself; it's the land. And land has been there.
Oh yeah.
And so who knows what's happened way before then.
And that area is still pretty fresh as far as like where that stuff being built there.
Yeah.
Like you know, my house in Oklahoma City, the stuff has been there for 30 plus years, I think, by now. So it's not really a big deal. But that shopping center, like Books A Million itself, only opened I think in like 2006.
Mm.
So stuff's still getting built in that area, and it's still very,
I would really be interested, and I'll be scared shitless, but I still want to do it. I really want to like try and talk to like a paranormal team, because you can go around, you can go on little investigations. My thing is, like, you gotta start taking something seriously when you start having, and in a scientific way, you have data, and then you repeat that, you repeat the experiment over and over, and you show it to people to see what they think. Like, that happens in a very honest way.
Right.
A lot. People with, no bullshit in other areas of their life, just because, people like to stigmatize it, and so when you, like EVP, like you get a voice or whatever, like, I need to do that at the store and see what happens, but once you do that, and you can argue, oh, it's just, it's coincidence that it sounds like a word or whatever. Well, maybe, but when you're asking a specific question and that coincidence answers that question, it's like, geez,
Yeah, I thought that technology was probably the most useful thing that has happened in that realm of things, because it's based on electromagnetivity.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a legitimate science.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that puts merit into it for me, because I think that as far as the paranormal things that we just can't explain that happen like that, electromagnetic spectrum and quantum physics can both clearly define and explain all of those things in concrete ways, and still keep them paranormal.
My feelings are a lot like, okay, you can explain a lot of spiritual things with, more logical, scientific ways, and vice versa. I feel like it all works together in a way. We just can't piece it all together. And frankly, I don't want to understand everything. I like to be in mystery. Like, I don't want to know everything as far as, like, I think that's what's attractive about the paranormal.
I think for me, it's nice to just think about that occasionally, because it makes me confident to say that it's okay for other people.
Yeah.
Like maybe if somebody legitimately has a fear of ghosts, I can sit them down and be like, look, this is why this is for this reason. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be scared of these things. Now, okay, the houses you were showing me last night, you're just asking for trouble.
We gotta talk about that. Yes. Oh shit, I almost forgot.
We'll make that our closing thought.
Okay, about this for a second. Well, what did you first think when I told you? Because last night I was feeling adventurous and listening to my stories again, and
I was down.
I was like, hey, let's go walk around the neighborhood. And it was like midnight. Let's go walk around the neighborhood and see what happens. And so I called up my friend and got him to join us, and I saw his house with him the other night, but it wasn't like this. Like, that blue light on the right, that was the only thing that was on last time.
And I didn't tell you this, because I didn't know if it would freak you out or not, but you were like wanting to go at midnight, and I was like, yeah, sure, because I don't know if you know this or anything. It's been referenced in, popular scary stories for probably a long time now, but from midnight to about 3 a.m.
The witching hour.
The witching hour.
Which is, I woke up 2 nights in a row, and that's one of the nights I had a VCR in my bed, which that was probably, it could have been me sleepwalking, because I do have a tendency to do that, but, It's just the coincidence of it
That's
was weird.
So you said, let's go at midnight. I was like, I'm down.
Yeah.
It was the best time to go. I don't know. I like
No, yeah, I want to be freaked out.
I like night walks too. I'm kind of a night owl anyway.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was up. But yeah, we went walking.
So we gotta talk about these houses.
Oh god, the first house you showed me. You're like, yeah, no, here's the house, and it's like this, Grand Victorian style with like the 4 pillars in the front of the house and the grandiose door, and looks like it's been built when like Jamestown was still around, kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just like, so that you showed me that, and I was like, okay, no, this is bad. Like you can just tell, like I'm telling you, if you start to get a little bit more looking at it from a perspective of not like using your senses about it, like just trying to sit there and just like, how does this make me feel? And like going beyond it and saying not how does it make me feel, just how do I feel now? Not necessarily because of it, but in relation to kind of a thing. But it's like you walk up to something like that and you're just like, no, this is not okay. And so I asked Daniel, I was like, what, give me the lowdown on this house. And he's like, yeah, no, it's been vacated for 18 years. Nobody's ever moved into it. They said that the last time somebody was here, somebody was murdered. I was like, yeah, no, this is bad.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever is there is literally just been sitting there waiting for somebody to make a bad move.
And besides any of like the history, the fact that this thing is, okay, obviously no one's there. All right, and I was there.
The lights, I forgot.
The lights. So this is what I'm saying. Take everything else away and just leave it like this. This thing is obviously abandoned. There's no one here. There's no one been here for at least a decent while. Why the hell? Okay, the first time I was there was just Daniel. We looked at the top right, the very top of the house. In the right window, you could see a blue light on in the back. Just a light. That in itself is just, it's very odd. It's very weird.
Right.
We go back. That light's still on, but in the left window over, there's a light on. It was kind of yellowish, I guess, but it changed colors, and it would fade in and out a little bit.
Well, my problem with that one was that it was bluish to me, but it didn't look like it was actually inside. It looked like it was like on the window, not through the window. And that's why I was looking on the other side of the street. I was like, what is reflecting that is going onto that house?
Oh, so you literally thought something was reflecting.
Yeah, and I got like, there was nothing reflecting on the other side of the street that would make me think that there needs to be a light on the window. Not through the window,
there was nothing
but it literally looked like there was a light plastered on the surface of that window. I was like, dude, that is not okay.
It was not on the last time I was there.
Right.
Dark, completely. And then we came back on the second time around that night, and you saw something, it looked like it was sitting down.
Right.
And so I was like, well, I'm trying to get Daniel going there.
Oh, that one I'd noticed before. And
I didn't. I was just like, I just wanted to get closer to it. I just kind of wanted to see if anything would happen. And it was weird. We walked up the driveway just a little way, and all of a sudden that light got really bright and then shut off.
Yeah.
And then we're like, all right, I guess it's time to go.
Yeah.
It's almost like it was saying, all right, come in.
Well, because it's like a threshold type of thing. I don't know if you studied thresholds or not yet.
No.
But you definitely need to know them.
No.
Because that was when we went to the last house with the willow tree and the door that apparently moved.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah. I'll tell that story in a minute.
But it's all about thresholds, because literally as soon as you see the house and you see the intersection, as soon as we go across the intersection, we're actually on its street. I'm like, boom.
Yeah, you were literally like, okay, I literally feel this.
Like, yeah, it was just like, felt like gravity shifted and there's more of it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm just like, and you can kind of feel like it like hits you there, and you're just like, what is going on? And yeah, it's a bad feeling.
And that goes back to what I was saying about some people being more in tune. Cause you could tell it seemed a little off, and I did not feel anything like that. But I had a real experience with Daniel there. We were standing outside of it one night, trying to see if we could possibly get into it. So we were standing there looking at it. All of a sudden, the door just opens. There's no one there. The fucking door just opens. So we all took off, and I actually went in there with him during the day. I think it wasn't too long after that, which is stupid after that. Why would we go in there? But yeah, we went inside, and it was like kind of torn up looking. It was just really, really creepy.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, some weird stuff, man. But I really want to go on a legitimate like ghost hunt.
Yeah, with like equipment and everything.
Yeah, if nothing else, just tag along with someone who's, you know, with a paranormal team or whatever. I'd have to, probably, just so I could get anywhere, get inside anywhere.
I mean, that'd be
legally.
cool. Yeah, just to say you did it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing shit by myself. Once I get in there, it's you know, I'm teaming up with
Then it
somebody.
turns into like a horror movie situation where you went in with a group and suddenly the group
You
disappears.
start getting picked off. You're like, oh,
Or then
shit.
like the group literally it's just you. Like all of a sudden the group is just not there. But then it turns into like some weird cabin in the woods
We
thing
brought you here.
where they've actually just been watching you on cameras the
We've
whole
been
time. They
waiting
snuck
for
off.
you. Yeah. That's creepy stuff.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
somebody should make that movie.
I think, I'm sure Ghost Adventures has a new season coming out. I'm sure they
They,
usually
they
do.
announced it, yeah.
Yeah.
They announced
I
it.
love that show. My favorite thing of all time is they had Aaron, and he was standing like in front of an elevator, and he was like, you know, if anyone's here, you know, show me a sign. The general question. Fucking elevator door opens, and he goes, "What the fuck?" He makes me laugh, and so. And I'm glad he did this. So he's like, what the hell? There's like mirrors in it. It was kind of creepy because you could see him filming. So he walks in there, and there's like little lights going on around it,
Right.
around the frame and stuff. It's like, all right, if that was really you, you know, you do something again. Can you close it again or anything like that?
Mhm.
Door closes again, and then you hear, not Nick, Zach. You hear him like narrating. He goes, "We later found out that the elevator's been out of service for 20 years." And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's TV, but still, I mean, I trust it, I guess. But that is probably like one of my favorite moments from that show.
Right.
I love that stuff. I wish that shit would happen to me. Why doesn't it happen to me? I love it.
Well, man, apparently it'll happen if you go ghost hunting.
I guess so. I hope so. Brendan Schaub was on one of the episodes. He did the
Oh,
EVP,
yeah.
And they were like, okay, who's here with us? And you hear it sound like a girl, Brendan. And he was like, oh! Yeah.
I got a ghost fan.
Yeah. Weird.
Alright, well, any closing thoughts for the people? One time for the people, one time for the people, one time for the people.
I want to try and do something tonight. Hopefully ghost related. We'll see. I don't know what's up.
As long as we don't go to that first or third house.
Maybe we'll have to.
God. It's just bad, dude.
I know, but man, I want to do something.
There are things there that just don't want you there, and I don't want to be there with
Or
them.
maybe they do.
No, they don't.
Maybe they've been waiting on us, Ryan.
No, they want you to leave them alone. It's exactly that type of attitude.
If I could record something, that'd be cool. That'd be really nice.
Well, I was gonna say you should get like a night vision camera or something.
Fuck that.
What?
Fuck. I'm not seeing something in real time, Ryan. I mean, unless it's like a shadow figure, I don't want to see.
Okay, we'll get a 28-foot long selfie stick.
We'll
You can
stick it in there.
Stick your phone through the window.
do you
Break
think?
the window. Stick the
I
phone
saw
through.
that phone! I'm fishing for ghosts. Yeah.
It like, oh my god! Then it takes your phone off the selfie stick. You pull the selfie stick out. We're freaking out. We're freaking out. It throws your phone back out the window at you, and it's got a selfie of the ghost.
Does a duck face.
I feel like it's like a scary movie type of thing.
Yeah, so that'd be a scary movie scene.
All right.
Anyway, well.
My closing thoughts are Kickstarters are cool. Star Wars is exciting. Watch Kung Fury. Read stuff about ghosts, and then don't join him in a hunt because he'll get you killed.
Come on, come with me.
Or her.
Come on. I need some friends on this.
Also, everyone should.
Oh, I tell you what, if you have your own stories, I'd love to hear it.
Oh yeah. If you guys have any, that's perfect. Yeah, any paranormal experiences that you guys want to
Anything
share
at
with
all.
us, please
I-
comment.
yeah.
And then like, subscribe if you guys want to see more of these podcasts. We love doing them so far.
Yeah.
We're only 2 in, but we always love hanging out, talking to each other, and we hope you guys like it too. So,
We're talking anyways.
anyways, I'm Jonesy.
I'm here. No, I'm in.
And we will see you guys later.